What is up, everybody? Welcome to Sixers Postgame. Tough L for the Sixers. A scheduled loss for the Sixers. We're going to break it down. Pat, the Gobbler's in the house. Pat, can you hear me?
I got you. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Finally.
Yeah, this was a tough one today. I feel like the Sixers were sluggish from the jump. I feel like every time the Sixers finally got off the hide and got something going, started hitting shots, the Bulls started hitting the shots. When the Bulls started missing shots, the Sixers started missing some shots.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tough game, from Maxey. No one really showed up in this one besides one dude making his return to the Philadelphia 76ers. But Pat, how you doing?
First of all, Dives, I blame you. I blame you for this loss. You want to know why? Because when you were gone, a certain individual was going off like crazy. He was pretty much putting this team on his back, okay? But now that you're back in the rhythm here, my man has been slowly, the Sixers didn't do what they had to do. No, all kidding aside, though, it was a clunker, and for some reason, this Bulls team has the Sixers number, and I don't know what it is.
There's a big reason why. Well,
I get it. Without the MVP on the floor, if we want to go that route, if you want to go the fact that this team is coming off a back-to-back, maybe there's some fatigue in the legs. I don't know, but all I do know is that this team needs to make some adjustments, and like you said, it kind of looks sluggish. There's things that Maxey could have done better. They're finding Nick Batum on the perimeter, wide open, him getting his shots. D'Anthony Milton getting his shots, but it still wasn't enough. And I thought for sure that Nick Nurse was going to utilize the bench, and just coming off the back-to-back, flying from Houston to Chicago, I definitely thought he was going to utilize the bench a little bit more, have some fresh leg rotations come through. And no, you played with tired legs, like you said. At the end of the day, it was nothing but a scheduled loss.
Yeah, at the end of the day, grand scheme of things, they were 2-2 in this stretch without Joel Embiid, which is pretty damn good, all things considered. But the nuts and bolts of this game, they got out-rebounded. They got absolutely murdered on the glass. Drummond just rolls out of bed and just seems to get 20 rebounds at will as we're watching. I'm watching the Dallas and Detroit game over here. But they got rebounded by Chicago by 15 boards. Chicago had an insane 12 offensive boards. Drummond had 23 boards. And number two, my goodness, I don't know if the Sixers are going to trade for Alex Caruso. I don't know if it's even here's my point. My point is Alex Caruso was in Tyrese Maxey's face all game long.
Yes.
Where Maxey was dribbling into the paint and just forcing things up. He was not finding his shooters from the perimeter. He got in his head. He quite simply got in his head. Alex Caruso, whether or not the Sixers trade for him, they need to trade for him in order for Alex Caruso not to go to the Boston Celtics, in order for Alex Caruso not to go to the Milwaukee Bucks, because that dude is a problem. He is a big problem for Maxey, and I thought Caruso had a great game plan against Maxey in this one. Maxey only shot 8 of 22, but he wasn't himself. He looked gassed. He had kind of tunnel vision. There are times when Maxey, when he's aggressive and he's driving and kicking and finding teammates and scoring at the rim, which we saw the last two games against the Magic and the Rockets, he's sensational. But there are times when he gets tunnel vision. There are times when he's decision-making with the basketball, and we saw it tonight. But what are your thoughts on Maxey?
And again, you pretty much summed it all up. I mean, again, going back to Caruso, you need him. Like I said, if you're gonna start making moves, we've seen it. The Knicks already made some moves today. But if you want to start going before the higher bidders start looking at this Bulls team and realizing that they're giving the same Sixers issues, you might want to start taken away from what they have and bring to what bring them over here. But Maxi though overall today again, the guy looked fatigued, and it was like the one tumbling play that he made. He looked like he didn't want to even get off the floor. He looked like he was ready to snooze there for a minute. And he just didn't look like he wanted to get back on defense. So again, to me, it goes back to I thought Nick Nurse. What we could have saw a little bit more of a Jerry Springer sighting. I know Korkmaz is not your best option for like more than 7 minutes, but something to try and keep these legs fresh. They are beat. They are tired. I'm not trying to make excuses. These are professional guys. They're professional players. But fatigue did wear in on this team, and you can see Maxi again. Yesterday, he dropped 42 points. That was going to take a toll. That was going to come at a price. That was going to come at a price. And
Yeah.
the fact that I don't know if I should be more upset with him or the fact that no one else really came through.
They didn't have it tonight. It's okay. It's like in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things, it's okay. You're not going to win every basketball game. Here is Tyrese Maxey's shot chart. A lot of red there, especially over these last 2 games where he was literally unstoppable inside the paint. Over these last 2 games, like there's just some things that bother me. Like Maxey should never be one that passes out when he gets Andre Drummond on the switch, which we saw tonight. I just think
Mhm.
his head was not in the game after Caruso kind of locked him up in that first half. It's ironic too, right, Pat? Because on the same day that OG Anunoby gets traded to the New York Knicks,
All right.
this is we go back and forth the OG, the Zach LaVine thing all season long on these shows, and this was the game where you needed Zach LaVine, right? Like this is the game where Maxey, you're not getting anything from Tobias Harris as expected. You need another guy, a shot maker, a playmaker that can get the ball in the bucket. And when you have
Mhm.
Maxey shooting, my shots they're not following. You have Embiid having a slow game. Like you need another legit score, which we do not have. And I'm not personally on the Zach LaVine train, but if you are, this game was for you.
Yeah, and here's another thing, and Mitch actually brought this to my attention. The Bulls play better without Zach LaVine. So yeah, if you need for a spot for him to get like a glass of new scenery, this might be the stomping grounds for that. But no, so for me though, like when I look at this again, when we look at this overall loss, um, again, these guys are playing with fatigue. They're cooked, and like I said, Maxie was in there trying to make it a dogfight. Again, he continued doing what he does best, continue attacking the paint. But like you said, there was no one really stepping up. And my thing is, just one of the listeners says, I know that he's getting kind of on Mo Bamba, but uh, he didn't have the world's greatest of games. Um, but neither did B-Ball Paul, and we love B-Ball Paul, but I mean he shot a three here and there, but it's just like you could just see this team's just empty without Embiid. It's just
Yeah.
they are really trying to fight. Like you said, they went 2-2, which is impressive. But they just didn't have it for it. I mean, they're already thinking about New Year's partying and all that stuff, and then taking the next little break and coming back on Tuesday and getting back into business when they see this Bulls team at full strength. So, but right now they're kind of they're gas for air. They just want to get home to their families, and then get back to work on Tuesday.
Yeah,
This was
Todd.
this was mentally in their brains. Let me get out of work on a Friday, and let me I'll come back on Tuesday.
Yep. And I believe they do play the Bulls. So
Yes, they got the Bulls on the back at home.
Todd says Maxey has to learn to carry the team without Embiid, just like Allen Iverson. Yeah, you brought
Did
up
it yesterday.
he did yesterday. Let's go to circle back to Paul Reed and Mo Bamba, which Todd says Mo Bamba blows. That third quarter stretch by Mo Bamba was like Greg Monroe esque. I don't know if you remember Greg Monroe. He was horrible. I mean, I've been kind of impressed what I've seen from Mo Bamba at times over this recent stretch, but dude, like when he's struggling, he gives you nothing. Like you can see like the offensive potential, like you could see it theoretically in your head on the court, the size. But while that might exist, he also might generally be a bottom 10% defender and rebounder in the NBA, which is, I don't think, theory at all. So you're waiting for like that part of his game to catch up. He's a horrible rebounder. He doesn't give you any rim protection at all, if at all. Bama struggled, and we got to call out as it is. Paul Reed really struggled in this one. This hasn't been his best stretch of games. He's been really struggling against starters. Again, he's made some few passes over the recent weeks. I got to bring that up because this is my first Sixers post game in a while. But anyway, Paul Reed continues to struggle. They continue to get out rebounded by a Chicago team that is beatable, is missing guys, and runs small ball. So they have women, but there's still no excuses.
No, there's not. But like you said, this is, like I said, we love Mo Bamba, and me, you, and Sean and Mitch talked about how his game is kind of parallel or just trying to mock the Embiid kind of a portrayed, and it just, but you can see why he's the third option, and this is why it's games like this is like, gotcha, Nick Nurse. This is why you're making this guy your third option. It's because, and when he can't give you a full stretch of games where it's just like he can't puzzle it all together. He gives you nice little spots here and there, but he just can't really puzzle it all in. And then when he does, it comes to collapse, and it just sucks because when you don't have a legit big man trying to, work his position, the team crumbles. This team crumbles in big ways, and it's like, what other option do we have? And it's not really much. I mean, if anything, if you're looking for a bright spot on this road trip, it's been Marcus Morris.
Yes,
has been a tremendous bright spot coming off the bench.
And Pat Bev has had a lot of nice glimpses defensively as well. Those two, the dog in those two, man, I'm excited to see what they can offer you come playoff time. But yeah, we touched on the defense, we touched on the bigs, we touched on Maxey. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're shooting 36 of 92 from the field for 39% and 23.7% from 3-point range, they also didn't have anything offensively. So it was just altogether a very, very difficult game for the Sixers. Do you have any other thoughts before we get into player of the game?
I mean, other than observations, it's just like, again, it just looked like this is kind of, for me, it's a little disappointing on the Nick Nurse side. Again, we're not going to win them all, but however, again, you have some fresh legs, and to me, it's are you trying some things new? Are you ready to ship some guys out? You don't want to injure them before this trade. You're trying to package some things, because usually he utilizes the bench. He usually puts in the Jerry Springers. I think we did see a little bit of KJ Martin involved, but he does usually. But unless there's something that's in the waters that we're not seeing that he knows about, maybe he's as a potential trade that's coming up. And hey, listen, let's not try and bang these guys up because we're trying to service something big and fat and juicy to bring over here. Then I kind of understand what's going on. But yeah, like I said, just very surprised. And then, like I said, just get back to work on Tuesday and then run the floor with the big man.
Absolutely. Let's roll into our Sixers player of the game. All right, Sixers player of the game. I'm going to go first. I haven't seen it in a while. This is a no-brainer. I thought Nico Batum had a very solid game in this one. Batum, in his first game back, had 9 points, finished 3 of 5 from 3, had 3 boards and 2 assists. Just continuing to flash why he's such a good fit for this team. Second chance opportunities, finding guys cutting to the basket. bailing out Tobias Harris, just dribbling the ball to death in the corner, making ridiculous catch and shoot threes. Give me Nico Batum for my player of the game. I thought, he's such a huge and vital component to this team moving forward. Good to see him back. That's my player of the game.
Very, very good selection there. As much as I'm going to pay me to say this, but I got to go to the Winter Soldier. I got to go to Tobias Harris. He showed me. I know it's bad to say that, right? But I mean, he did show me a little bit of aggressiveness in the beginning of the game. Again, he looked like the only guy who was trying to put buckets in the net. He showed me a little bit of something. And then he quickly faded out. But I mean, still, I mean, he gave me close to 15 points. He showed me a little bit of aggressiveness. I'll give him that. He made that one nice dish to Nick Batum on the perimeter, or Nick Batum. Yeah. He had that fadeaway three. So I'll give him that. He had a little bit better vision on the court. This pains me. That's how you know it's a kind of wrap up and take it easy kind of night. We have to go to Tobias Harris over Maxey, who even though Maxey had the 20-point game.
That's a good one. I just watched that movie too. That's so funny.
Yes.
It's Dallas Cowboys just scored a touchdown. It's my favorite Marvel movie, actually. Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yeah, it's my number one.
It's a classic.
It's a good one. But like I go back to that fourth quarter, like shot clock violation with Tobias Harris, where he doesn't get the shot off. Like that's another example where, like, if you have like a Zach LaVine, does that happen? As we see many times. I don't know. I'm not throwing it out there, but
I can see a lot working. Again, he's got that, to me, he's got that Kelly Oubre kind of a game. And I think those guys could really parallel off one another. If you don't have a night where you don't have a Joel Embiid, that's where he'd probably be best suited, because him, Maxey, and Kelly Oubre on the floor at the same time together, he cause havoc.
All right. Final question to you before we wrap this thing up. Do you want the Dallas Cowboys to win and for the Eagles to potentially get a first or a playoff bye? Or do you want the Cowboys to lose and not get the bye?
No, I need. Look, it ingrains me to look. I got green coming out like crazy horror movies. I got green coming out of the veins. I got yellow eyes. Listen, if I got to do the deal with the devil, I got to do the deal with the devil. I need that first run by. This team overall, this Birds team needs a break and get themselves back in action. Go back to chalkboard square one. Yes, give me the Cowboys. Listen, I've dealt with the devil already. Okay, my cousin's a Giants fan. He brought over his Giant moccasins. He said, last time I wore these, Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl. I said, come on in, my friend. Come on in. So, look, there's ways of paying this thing, can pay dividends. Let's make it happen. So let's go.
I'm in the same boat, man. And I hate to say it, like, this is like a major violation. But you look at the Eagles' defensive line and that rotation, they've played more snaps. Most of those guys have played more snaps in their entire careers. They need a break. And if the Eagles' defensive line isn't getting any pressure, we all know what that means. So,
kumbaya.
All right. Major violation.
No, Todd, you got to look at big picture looking in. Big picture, buddy. You got to look big picture. Okay, we need Dallas to win to get that bye. Listen, it only benefits us. Big picture.
Yep. All right. Pat, final thoughts on this one. Let's close it up.
Final thoughts. 76ers, get your head out of the ground. Wake up. Whether you want to say this was a throwaway game or not, that's fine. Come back Tuesday after the holiday and be ready to rock and roll. I'm hoping the big man's back. If not, Nick Nurse has got to figure something out quickly, and let's see what they bring to the table come Tuesday. Let's see if they can get some revenge.
Yep. Pat, what do you got going on, man? You got
Yes. Tomorrow, PM in the AM, we have the award show. We are going to be giving awards out to Player of the Year, Play of the Year, breakout player of the year, doucher of the year, rookie of the year, and so forth. So, and listen, you know me, guys. For a man who's got, I'm like an owl. I cover all, not just one, but all the Philadelphia sports team. But I might have to, if I'm going to add a stiff of the year, a certain college football head coach might be thrown in there as well. But I might have to do that. But listen, guys, obviously you can catch me here. Flyers post game shows, Eagles post game shows on tomorrow. Catch me all across all the time, breaking down the Philadelphia Wings, beat reporting for them, Philadelphia Union. So I'm everywhere here on the Edge of Philly Sports. A very, very jack of all trades right here.
All right, guys. Make sure you check out PM and AM, 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm sure Pat's going to be throwing out some foosball names and some lacrosse names that I've never heard of. And
yes. I'm trying to get everyone to plug and saying, "Who's this guy? Let me check him out." So that is my will to own everybody. So, but don't worry. I'm pretty sure Mike Lauer will line up a Cowboy for some reason, like the dope that he is. Doesn't know anything. No, I'm kidding. He's a great guy. I can't wait to see those guys tomorrow. Guys, check it out. Let's go. PM and AM.
All right. 9 a.m. tomorrow. At 11 a.m. tomorrow will be our Eagles pregame show, breaking down top matchups between the Eagles and the Cardinals, as well as halftime live with me and Shane, and then postgame when the clock hits 0. Go give my man Pat a follow on X. Pat from Ambler, I think it is.
Yes, sir. I got to change that. I don't know who put gobbler, but I got to change the gobbler. I'm not talking about my eating habits, but anyway, yes, Pat from Ambler on Twitter. Give me a follow. And also, just kind of getting into the word of thick of things. If you guys are video game heads, we are starting to line that back up. So today we did an episode of Doom. So if anybody who likes talking video games as well, classic, retro, football, all that stuff, we got you covered. So anyway, guys, for me, my man Dives, we're taking this by storm. Let's go Sixers. Come back Tuesday strong.
Yep. As the Cowboys stop the Lions on 3rd and 5. Steven's in the house saying out of steam tonight, and that's okay. Period. The Sixers were 2-2 in the stretch without Embiid. It's okay. Everything is okay. Schedule loss. It just sucks that it came against a very beatable Chicago Bulls team. What's that?
No, Vucevic on street clothes. I mean, like you said, this was a gimme. This was a gimme W.
Yeah, it sucks. It is what it is. If you love the NFL draft, we've been pumping out so much draft content here on the channel. Individual scouting reports, top 10 positional rankings, top 10 team prospect rankings for your college football playoff. Just expect a lot more coming out. I've been fighting a really bad cold the last week. Yes. So I am finally back. So I've been slowly pumping those back out. Again, Pat, we'll see you on Monday, tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yes.
I will see you 11 a.m. Or no, not you, but everyone else for Eagles pregame live. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
I'll see you next year.
Yes, I'll see you next year. Stay awesome, everyone.